Welcome to Day 4 of Week of AI by Teacher Goals. The next session will begin in 20 seconds. Welcome to Day 4, Week of AI, Session 4. We're happy that you stayed with us. I see a lot of comments coming in.
It's the fawns. That's why. They just started blowing up. I'm working now.
Yes. If you bring the right speakers, they will come. And boy, is this next one I think he is one of the most prolific podcasters that I've ever seen. He's very consistent with it. He's constantly elevating other people's voices. He is a force to be reckoned with in ed tech. And I know that we haven't even got to his bio yet. So I'm super excited tonight that I get to elevate his voice by having him on the show and allowing him to share all the amazing wisdom with our viewers. So let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of us have had the honor to be on his show. And that whole time, my heart was just beaming. And it was just one of the most powerful things I've ever done. So I appreciate him. I just told him backstage, I'm like, you're a light worker. Keep going.
He is. And
yeah, he's a light worker and his voice, and it's fun to watch him on his show. So you want me to go ahead and tell them all about him?
Go ahead. Let's hear all about him.
Glasses. All right, Mr. Alfonso Mendoza, Fonz, we know, Jr., a passionate educator with over a decade of experience, holds a master's in educational technology and is in his third year of doctoral studies. And still doing the show. With the aim of providing engaging and effective learning experience, Mr. Mendoza has served as the district instructional technologist for 6 years now, equipping teachers with tech tools to enhance student learning. His commitment to education does not end there. For the last 6 years, he actively participates in many social media platforms, sharing his expertise through podcasts, blogs, and other education-related posts. Connect with Alfonso on Twitter at MyEdTechLife. That is the name of his amazing podcast too. And I'm sure you all know that already. There are so many people here. Oh, so excited to see you
Tanya's
too.
like, fun, fun. So let's bring him up.
Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for this invite. I am excited. I'm full of energy, and I want to thank both of you. Like I said, I've had the honor and pleasure of having you both on my podcast as guests, and it's amazing to reconnect again. And obviously, in this week of AI, and just getting to share all our learning experiences with one another and sharing it out with the learning community. So it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all today.
Well, we're excited to have you, and I can't wait. I've loved having a front seat to all of these presentations, and I mean, my goodness, today has just been just phenomenal. And you get to close us out on Wednesday. We've got 2 more days of this, so make sure you guys subscribe, stay tuned in, watch the replays if there's another episode or session that you've missed. But tell us the title of your session and what are we going to get to learn from you today?
Yeah, so today really it's just exploring the world of Adobe Firefly. This has just been amazing. Firefly is a great tool, and right now it's really what I look for before we get started is just lowest barrier to entry. Obviously a lot of technology all at one time can sometimes cause a little stress, and for teachers, and sometimes for us innovators that are really kind of in the front and we are early adopters and so on. I feel like it's our job to really present these platforms in such a way that are very, I don't know, just a very easy way for teachers to feel comfortable, to be able to adapt, just to see what it is that is out there and what is happening and what will happen, to just help them transition. And I think that's really our main goal. I often say, sometimes we jump from platform to platform because we see the next little shiny button and so on. But I'm always like, hey, we got to learn platforms like instruments. Sometimes it's going to hurt. Like if you play guitar, you're going to build some calluses. But once you start learning those chords, playing some wonderful melodies with those platforms, then you can dive in and really see what your students can do and what you yourself can do. So I'm just really excited today to just go through a really brief, easy intro into Adobe Firefly. For those of you that are not familiar with Firefly, or maybe have even joined the beta today, hopefully today we can get you to join that beta, get access to it. And I'm just going to show you some of the simple things that you can do as an educator, things that I want you to practice for yourself to also amplify and spice up your own creativity, because I feel that if you can build up your creativity too as well, that passion will definitely trickle down to your students as well, and it can really change, the environment within your classroom. So I'm a big proponent of that. So I'm excited about today.
Awesome.
Yeah, we are too. And so is Tanya is here. Miss Gonzalez is lots of fire signs.
Yes, Tanya. Big shout out to Tanya. She is my neighbor. Basically, here we live in the same area, probably about 20 minutes apart. Yeah, so she's great, and I'm just really excited. I've been able to co-present with her at Adobe Creative Institutes, and she is fire. So she's awesome.
She is fire. Her enthusiasm is infectious. We love some Tanya.
Makes me feel like $1,000,000 every time I see her.
So
Absolutely.
I'm going to give a quick shout out again to our sponsor, Conquer, for today. We thank you for making today possible. And we're going to pop down, cue up your slides, and get you going.
There you go. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for today. And again, please feel free to ask any questions at any time, because like I said, this is just an introduction and just really showing you where Adobe is going and the way that they are just being very active in understanding what is out there. And of course, them being one of the leaders out there as far as graphic design. It's a great company, and they're just really taking that step forward in adopting this. And if you all had heard or have heard the announcement of the implementation with Google Bard that will be coming, that will offer Adobe Firefly, that's something that's huge as well. And so today, what I'm going to do is we're just going to walk through this, just show you a couple of things, just so, again, like it says here, straight from the webpage, just how to meet Adobe Firefly. So really what we're going to do is just, your imagination really is the only thing that'll hold you back. Really, this is based on prompts as simple as you like, for prompts like create a cute dog, to create a cute dog in a 4K realistic
Mhm.
synthwave manner and so on, and then you can go as deep as you like. But again, for me, lowest barrier to entry, just so you can start having some fun and not feel overwhelmed. We're going to go over a couple of things here. But before we do that, I just want to kind of show you a little bit here on the web page. If you go to Adobe Firefly and find that out, you'll see a couple of the things that will be coming out soon. Right now, they've only released 3 things that we're going to be playing around with, which is obviously the text to image creation. We're going to talk about, with lettering and then coloring vectors. So we'll be doing those things. So at any time, just feel free to pop in your questions and your comments, and I'll try and see that here for you all. So again, real quick and easy, they're going to have some amazing video edits that they will be working on. As you know, we know Adobe is for Photoshop and graphic design and some of those things. But I mean, the astounding thing that you'll be able to do with video, and it shows you here on the website. So you go from a nice blue sky and now you're changing it to a winter day. So this is something that will be coming for video effects. If you haven't checked this out, please make sure you check this out. Again, that's not available yet in the beta. Okay, so I'm going to show you what is available in the beta. And then, of course, you've got content creation. Now, guys, I want you to know, everybody in the education field, you really are learning engineers. So really, that's the one thing that I want to share with you, that as of today, for my what I'm calling all educators is learning engineers, because you really are engineering the learning, but you're also creating content. And we also need some tools that are going to help our workflow, save us some time, and more than anything, amplify our creativity, but amplify student creativity. So these are some of the great things that will be happening. And of course, you see here where it says join the beta. So please make sure you click on that, put in your information. That way you have access to the beta. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be able to do today. Again, we're going to try 3 things out. We're going to do the text to image, we're going to do the text effects, and we're going to recolor vectors. As you can see, here's a couple of other things to help you get inspired. They show you some examples here that you can already start from their gallery, and you can try these prompts out. And these are all already images that many users have created based on their prompts. So again, just something to have fun with. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here with text images. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go here to generate. And also just wanted to let you guys know, I am sharing this. With StreamYard, you do have the ability to share onto my socials too. So I'm live on LinkedIn and on my YouTube channel to help continue to promote this show as well. So you can always go back to Teacher Goals for sure. Give them a sub, a like, a follow, and everything. But you can also check it out on my LinkedIn and on YouTube as well. That way we can get as much audience as we can here. But let's go ahead and have some fun. Again, right now what you're seeing is what people have already created. And if you want to you're a little curious as to what it is that they did to create this cottage overgrown with ancient trees and a fantasy illustration, you can actually try these prompts out yourself. So this is something that I love. And you know what I talk about, lowest barrier to entry. I want to make sure that anybody who's using this feels so comfortable using it. And of course, they did such a great job in putting in so many of these great examples. Hover over it, you actually see the prompt, and you'll see all sorts of prompts, from something very basic to something that is just like you see here, very descriptive. And this is the one thing that I love, not only for us as learning engineers, but also for our students, is the fact that they can really start using some great vocabulary. They can go ahead and just really have to really think very critically about what it is that they want their output to look like. And I think those are skills that are wonderful and help transition and are cross curricular in any grade, and any grade level as well, and obviously in the workforce. And so these are some things that you can do. But let's have some fun. I'm ready to have some fun, and hopefully you're ready to have some fun with me. So then this is what we're going to go ahead and do. Well, actually, sorry, my bad. Let's go ahead and start generating our text to image. So let me go scroll all the way up here, and let's go ahead. First of all, let's go ahead and check out one of these prompts here, just so we can see. And so what you can do, if you want to experiment and you just see something there that you like, what I love is that you already get to see these wonderful creations that other people have already done. to inspire you, to give you some ideas of what it is that you might want to do. So you have that available. But now you also have the power to go ahead and change the content type. Let's go over a couple of the settings that you'll have here in the beta. So you have the aspect ratio, which you'll see here. You have a 4:3. You have obviously your landscape, your portrait, your square, and your widescreen. So you'll have that to work with as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave this as is. Now, before we jump ahead, some of the questions have been, am I able to download this and am I able to go ahead and use this for commercial use? At this time, if you download these images, it will have the watermark that will have that attribution. So I want to show you what it's going to say here when I download. So when I download, it says applying content credentials. So what it'll do is we can learn a little bit more about what it's going to do here. And it tells you here what content credentials will do, what it is that you will be able to do with these pictures and so on. So please just be very cautious that this is not out for commercial use yet. I mean, they are basing it on Adobe stock, which we know that that will be used commercially and you can do that. But for now, please make sure that you're using this and you're giving proper attribution as always with anything. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way. But then what you can do here, like I mentioned, let's have some fun. What we can do is we can go and click on any of these content types. So for now, I'm clicking none. And what it's going to do, it's just regenerating everything all, and then so now what I can do is I can say, okay, I went from none. Now, what if I want something to look bit like graphic? So we'll go back into a graphic and it's going to go ahead and add that graphic piece right here. One thing to note is this. You see that it keeps regenerating, but I want to show you something. Once you go through the cycle, first of all, we've done graphic, we've done the digital art, and now let's go ahead and do photo. And then it's going to regenerate again to make it look like a photo. We can always go back and clear these styles. And notice that you see some minor changes based on the style because it is going to go ahead and change that for you. But what you can do is you can go back to none. And this is kind of going back to your original, what it is that you had to start off with at the very beginning. So let's go ahead and just clear this out completely. We'll clear the style, we'll clear this. And what I do is I love to play with robots. And I don't, there's just something with robots that, is something that appeals to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a simple prompt here, guys, just low barrier. I'll put here robots in love. And let's go ahead and generate that robots in love with no content type. And then we'll talk about the styles here. Look at that. I mean, this is amazing. Look at these images, just the quality that you're getting from these images right off the bat. My little robots, oh, look at that. I mean, just with that simple of prompt. Now, again, that's the wonderful aspect of this that anybody at any age can go ahead and start this. Obviously, please make sure you follow terms of agreement. If it says 18 and over, please make sure you're using it for 18 and over, or you do have consent from parents if it's 13 and above. That's just my little thing there. But again, the quality that you have, look at this cuteness here. And then what you can do is you can go ahead and click on favorites and it's going to go ahead and save it for you. Here in the beta, I can always go back and check favorites and then it's going to go ahead and bring me back to this image. Look at that. This is just amazing right here, what we have. So now what we want to do is let's say we want to add maybe just a little bit of a graphic view. So I want you to check this out. It's going to go ahead and regenerate. And you're going to see some of those minor little changes and tweaks that it's going to give us here. If you notice, kind of changes this up a little bit. Look at that. Oh, total cuteness. And sometimes these are going to look like way cuter than the original. Sometimes they may not be, maybe what you expect. So you can always go back. But the fact that you're not starting from scratch, the fact that this is just automatically generated for you is just total awesome sauce. And like I said, something like this wonderful tool can just be what you need and that seasoning that you need to sprinkle onto what you are already doing great. So let's go ahead and check out the rest here. Notice how, this kind of changes a little bit more, kind of softens it there. And it's just total sweetness. Now, if you notice here, sometimes you will get some of these little, inaccuracies or little things there, but it's very minute. But again, the fact that you can rework this. And now if I say, you know what, I like the way it looked originally, I'll just go back to none. And there you go. I'm back to square one. What we can do now is also we can check out some of these styles. And if you notice, you've got popular styles, you've got movements, themes, techniques. You go to all, but here we're just going to leave it on popular for now because one of the popular styles, at least that I like to use, is the synthwave style. So let's go ahead and check this out. We'll add synthwave to this. All right. And we will go ahead and generate. And there you go. Oh, look at this. It just brightens up those colors, changes things a little bit. Oh, look at that. That totally looks really cute right here in that synthwave form. There you go. So if you notice the detail there, now what you can do is what I love is how easy it is to compound effects. So again, if you wanted to make it graphic, and synthwave, you totally can. And it's just about you, how you feel, what catches your eye, and what you're feeling at that moment. I mean, and that's the beautiful part about this. To me, I love that this tech resonates with me in the fact that it just whatever I'm feeling, I'm seeing it here. What's coming in my brain, and then I'm just compounding this. These elements, it just makes me feel great that I can see something and that idea that I can't draw or the idea that I'm trying to convey can come to life in these images right now, generating that. So I love the fact that you can go ahead and layer those styles. So let's go ahead and layer a palette knife here also as well. One of my favorites too is the paper style, the layered paper. So we'll check that out too as well. Let me take out the synth wave because sometimes I feel that with synth wave, it kind of, that's really dominant many times. So let's go see what it looks like with graphic and a palette knife. And there you go with the palette knife, as you can see, you know, the images, just those little imperfections, those little nuances, but it's just kind of that style. And like I said, it just all goes to show what you're feeling at that moment. You can always go back to none, as far as, the graphic style, and we'll start off here and notice how it changes those things also as well. So great ways for you to have some fun. And let me show you also what we can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my style, go back to what I originally had. But what we can do is we can choose color tones too as well. We can go to vibrant colors. All right, so we'll add vibrant colors and we can work with the color tones, which we'll see here. And what I love about this, guys, is just how instantaneous this is. Look at that. So now you change the color tones and just the feeling that it conveys, the message that you're sending. Robots in love, but the colors speak to you. The colors change the image. We can go back to none. We can change some of the lighting too, and maybe we can go into some dramatic lighting, and we'll see those little changes. And so again, very customizable, very easy. Look at that. A lot of fun to use. All right. Now look at the feeling you get that, you're portraying this with that lighting. It just kind of changes the feel, changes the story. And that's what it's all about. You're really amplifying what's in your mind. You're trying to create that story. You're trying to convey that message. And again, the ease of use, but with the color. Like this is so powerful, guys. And again, for myself, I always love to just spark that creativity in educators. Like for this, for me, is like self-care, just being able to come in here and go through different variations and just convey what I'm trying to say and those feelings. I mean, this is something that's wonderful for me that works. So again, great stuff. And then of course we can change the compositions too as well. They've got macro photography, they've got shot from above, narrow depth of field, wide angle. So let's try narrow depth of field here and let's see what that gives us. And again, no, you'll notice those subtle little changes, but the fact that you can compound so many of the effects and so on. So look at that. I mean, just this is amazing. This is wonderful. And all it was is just starting with a simple little prompt that says robots in love. I mean, simple, low hanging fruit. Anybody can go in here and immediately just start creating and feel like an artist and share your story. So that's the one thing that I love about this. And again, you've got so many styles here to choose from. You're not going to get bored because there's so many combinations that you can go ahead and use as well. So that right there, guys, is the text to image aspect of this. And I'm seeing a lot of great comments. Heather Brown, yes, you can layer the styles. Joined in late. Oh, this is Adobe Firefly. Make sure that you do sign up for the beta, and we can share that link, throughout where you. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for sharing that. That way we can go ahead and get that. All right. The next thing that I want to share with you is let's go to text effects. This is always a lot of fun here. So let's go ahead and again, you can already check out here. This is a wonderful gallery from people that have already created some of these. So look at the prompt, red fur. All right. Here we've got black and gold dripping paint. And that's what that looks like right here. All right. You've got something that's mossy. You've got chain link. You've got cheese popcorn, guys. So imagine all the great stuff that we're going to be able to create. So, what I'm going to do here is this is by default, it'll say Firefly. However, what you can do is right here on the side, all right, where it says Firefly, I just highlighted down there at the bottom left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to do this, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to plug. So I'm going to go ahead and put the name of my podcast, Maya Tech Life. But I'm going to change this not for red fur. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do multi-color. I don't know. Let's do multicolor paint or maybe do multicolor ink. And I'm going to leave this as the default right here as far as what I have multicolor ink. All right. So there you go. So it gives me a little bit of multicolor ink. There you go. Now I can go ahead and change things a little bit here as far as some of the styles right here. I can go back and it'll regenerate this and just kind of give a different flow and a different feel to what it is that you have here as far as your text is concerned. We can have here a little bit more of that splash where you're kind of going outside the lines a little bit. And when right now, what I'm going to show you here too as well is the text effects make a big difference. If we want this tight, what tight means is that it's going to stay within the lines, be within those boundaries. So let's go to tight so I can show you what that's going to look like. And then what we'll do is we'll change some of those fonts. So here is what it looks like as far as the tight is concerned. All right. Gets a little tighter there. And then the loose kind of gets you a little bit more outside the line. All right. So again, just be creative, have some fun. There you go. So notice how it flows outside the line. Now you may be thinking, yeah, but this kind of doesn't look really cool with the yellow background, but that's okay. Don't worry about that because what we can do is we can actually change your background color here as well. So I'll change it to black and boom, there you go. You've got some popping action there. So it pops for you. And again, you have these different variations down here as well that you can go ahead and choose from. So now if I go back over here to this one, it'll go ahead and immediately just change things up a bit here, but it still has that loose feel to it. All right. Now let's change some of the fonts. Now, right now, if I click view fonts, you only have 12 fonts that you can choose from. But of course, as the platform becomes readily available, they're definitely going to be popping in more fonts. But for now, let's go ahead and try this one right here. Something that's a little tighter, a little taller. And there you go, just so you can kind of see what that'll look like. And it's all about having fun and amplifying your own creativity, guys. So those are a couple of examples here. Now, you do have some sample prompts here where we can go back and maybe we can do multicolored, let's see, balloons, something that looks like rubbery. So let's generate that. Let's see what that looks like. Because right now we did just ink. There you go. So now you've got some balloon action here, kind of gives you that feel. And again, because we are loose, you'll see that coming out of the lines. Maybe if you want something that's going to give you a little bit more definition, you can go to a medium. There you go. Start a little bit more definition there, a little bit tighter. And then, of course, you can always go back to very tight and just have some fun. Play around with the background. There you go. Look at all those things. And again, you can always favorite this so you can come back to it. You can always download this if you need to. But again, keep in mind, let me show you what that might look like here if we do download. Actually, this was the first example. Here we go. So if you do download this, oh, I'm sharing my window. There will be at the bottom right, you'll see the little watermark, and it'll say pretty much it says Adobe Firefly beta image not for commercial use. But again, this is just for you to kind of get a feeling of what it is that will be coming. And again, you can use some of these prompts, and you've got several prompts here that you can kind of choose from if you wanted to go to maybe colored marble. You've got metallic, you've got all of those great things there. So this is awesome right there. Look at that. That's the color marble. Oh, that looks wonderful. I think I'm gonna have a graduation cake that'll be like this, a marbled cake that says Maya Tech Life spelled out. That'll be great. All right, guys. So again, this is the text effect. So I encourage you, have some fun with it. Enjoy, use some of the fonts, and keep in mind, this is the beta limited version right now. As this continues to grow and as Adobe makes some additional releases, because there are some additional surprises coming, but I can't really say much. But there's some great things that will be coming into the Adobe space that they're going to be doing. And so I'm really excited about that. And I'm sure that they'll be going to make an announcement and you will see it all over Twitter too, as well. So good stuff coming. All right, now let's go on to the last thing that I want to share with you. Okay. And the last thing I want to share with you is to recolor vectors. So let's talk a little bit about this right here, where you can generate variations of your vector artwork from a detailed text description. So let's just go ahead and check this out. So what I like about this, guys, is you can actually upload an SVG. So let's say that you want something specific or you're looking for something that you need and you just kind of want to recolor it. So I'm going to demo this for you real quick. If I want to upload an SVG, what I normally do is I'll go to free SVG, and I'm only doing this for the demo, but I'm a big, obviously, podcast fanatic, but also a coffee drinker. So what we can do is maybe type in here coffee cup. I don't know. So oops, maybe I ran out of my free little thingies that I had. I think that's what it was. No biggie. Luckily, before this, I had already downloaded what it is that I wanted to do. So let's go ahead and use that. So I'm going to go ahead and use my coffee mug SVG. All right. And it says here, describe the color palette you want to generate. So for my color palette here, I will do, how about, I think it's cornflower blue. I remember that from my crayon box. So let's see what it gives me here. Maybe not. I could have done, it should be here, cornflower blue, and maybe I just put it 2 words. So let's see what it gives me here. Regardless of what we get, there you go. So it kind of gives you that palette right there that you see that you asked for, but you also have sample prompts that you do have available as well. So again, something that's really neat there. And of course, tech happens. And right now, I have lost my mouse. So, and because of one of my, the Razer program that I have here, I forgot to turn that off. So it took control of my mouse. So I do apologize for that, guys. Again, tech happens. So again, you can pop this in here and then you can go ahead and use the sample prompts, and you have that you can go ahead and choose from. So here we go. I do have my mouse control of my mouse here one more time. And you can go ahead and change this up here, Summer by the Sea. And you have a couple of things here where you can go complimentary. There you go. And you see your results. You can always go back and choose different colors. So again, this is something that you can use to recolor any of your SVGs. So you can even select this SVG here, and you can go ahead and hit random or randomize, or in this case, I think it just gives you those color coordinates right there. But here we go. So we can select Why isn't it changing color? I had another one that was changing color for me. Let me try the microphone. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's try that real quick. So my microphone too, what I want is I want a let's do a vivid red color palette. Just give it a description there. See what it does from the original color palette. So there we go. We've got some redness there. Oh, and notice here now I get more colors here for my prominent color. And then I can shuffle through these and it's going to give me different results for each one. So that is kind of cool how you can go ahead and recolor your vectors and just whatever it is that you find this useful for. Again, it's all about having fun. So now I have, instead of having a boring mic, now I have an awesome colorful mic that I can go ahead and recolor right there on the spot. And that right there pops for me. So I think I'm really good with that. So that is really cool. So these are my mics here that I get. All right. And again, you can always select from what colors you have down here as well. And again, that's simple as that. So again, it's a great way to recolor. Now let's try some of these prompts here again that you have. I think these right here, you can also recolor. So we've got these prompts here, sweet desserts. We've got that and we can recolor. So you can again type it, ooh, salmon sushi. That's right there, the recolor that you have. And then you can go ahead and select something that's more to your liking and more to your needs. So fairly simple tools, guys. Drag and drop, having some fun, recoloring, expressing your creativity. And that's what it's all about. We want to amplify you. We want you to amplify your stories. So I think Adobe has done a great job through Firefly. Now, again, there are other text to text to image creators that are out there. Some of them are very hard to work with because they may be, on different platforms and you have to go in and then you have to prompt it and do those things. But I think just something like this to introduce to some of your teachers, introduce to some of even yourselves to this kind of generative AI is something that can be very helpful to you to ease any anxieties, to ease any worries, and to still understand that you control the tech doesn't control you, but I'm all about you just getting clicky with it. Get clicky with it, have some fun, create. And I'm just curious to know what it is that you do create. So make sure that on social media, you share, tag me at my EdTech Live, tag anybody at Adobe or tag Adobe for Education also as well, because we would love to see what you create. And again, the goal today, guys, is just really to introduce you to this great product, and you're going to see how great it's going to become as they add and continue to add more features, but really just that entry level AI for you, comfort level, keeping it simple, getting clicky with it, and amplifying creativity, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed what I got to share with you today about Adobe Firefly.
Getting clicky with it. I dig it.
No.
So I know a lot of people probably might ask this, or maybe just me. I put in for my beta about a week ago. What do you think the wait time is for Firefly?
Actually, that is a great question. I'm not sure about that. I know they did give us some information, but again, once I get that out, we'll definitely be able to share out. And please make sure you follow me, follow Tanya too, because Tanya is an ace educator too. Yes, John Wick, get clicky with it. I love it. Yes, I know that y'all love it. Actually, I made a shirt that says "Get clicky with it," and that's the motto that we have for all our teachers. It's just about having some fun, diving in, experimenting, and of course, amplifying your voice, your creativity, because that goes a long way too as well. So yeah, so definitely, yeah. So Tanya says a couple days there. So actually, when I joined the beta, it took me maybe about 2 days, but I know that it's usually about I think 4 to 5. It just depends too, because there's so much demand for it. But just hop on and be patient. But because once it opens up, you're gonna have the time of your life. And like I said, it's great. It's gonna be worth the wait. And as soon as it comes, again, comes on full force, I mean, the things that you're going to be able to do with it are just going to be great. One of the things too is they really want to make it K-12 friendly. In other words, just making sure that our students are taken care of. As we know, the worry about data and all that great stuff. But we want to make sure that the tools that are out there now are really being very cautious with student information, student privacy, and more than anything too, even teacher teacher footprint. We want to make sure teachers are protected as well. So I think they're on the right track. And again, it's just another tool to add to your tool belt. And like I said, just sprinkle a little bit of that awesome sauce to it. You're already doing great.
Yeah,
We just love you.
Adobe's always been, I think, very education friendly. You guys do a great job at thinking about school use cases, kids use cases. I know Adobe Express is huge in schools, and just I love that you're making the text to image generator accessible. Midjourney can be hard to get on board with because of the Discord. So this is I'm super excited about this. I did not realize my beta access was because I looked up, I was like, let's see how long. Yeah.
Well, I'm
So
gonna check my email because I did it
323.
a couple days ago. I think 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah, March 23rd, I submitted and I got it back March 28th.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So it'll
it took about 5
so it'll take a while, guys. But again, to it's worth it. And one of the things that you mentioned, Amanda, and I agree. I didn't want to put it out there just because I don't know, like if people work for Midjourney or anything, because it is great. But again, for me, it's always been for teachers is keeping it simple. And I know I think in one of the shows that you were talking about is like there's so many platforms that are out there and so many people bringing stuff out that we always want to jump and be the first one on. And I think for ourselves that are those early adopters, it's very important that we really take our time in what it is that we're sharing, because sometimes we want to be the first ones to do it. And then all of a sudden it's like, ooh, yikes, we didn't really, think through, or maybe the app later on we'll find a couple of things. But we also, as ourselves, I know we get excited. We need to do our due diligence, because I think as early adopters, we are responsible for what we put out so all our teachers can benefit from it. And I definitely don't want to turn any teachers away from the tech, because it's a scary time for a lot of them. They're navigating this. But for us, I think that this show and the series of speakers that you've had and the work that you do and we continue to do together can definitely help ease all of that and help teachers transition into what is here today, what will be better tomorrow, and what's going to help our students be 31st century ready.
Yeah.
Because I don't even want to say 21st century anymore. We're already like in 2023. I want to say we got to be 31st century ready.
Yeah. Well said. Gosh, always well said. You should get a line of T-shirts if you don't have them already. I mean, you said you have that one, but you just
if you go to my website mayatech.life, we do have a shop there. But of course, it's supporting the website, the show. But maybe now you gave me an idea. Let's start a line of shirts that says "Get clicky with it."
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sonia was asking, is the software free right now? The beta, yes, it's free for you to log in. So yeah, but just make sure that you sign up for the beta for sure.
Okay, we have someone from Aruba and someone from Honolulu, and I want to go I'm up in Boston. Let's go on vacation. But
I totally see, once Adobe Firefly, the full capabilities, once it's accessible and it's out of beta, I totally see me switching to using that over Midjourney. I love Midjourney because right now it has capabilities, but again, the barrier to entry for teachers is high. And I think this is the solution for that. I mean, Canva, I love Canva. They've got text to image built in too, and that's a safe student, facing platform to use as well. But I see the features that you have, or that Adobe's built into their text to image, is a little more robust. So I do like that aspect, and I can't wait to play with that more.
I know, and it's user friendly and it's so pretty. It's just there was something lighter. The energy of it was a lot lighter.
Yes.
I don't think teachers will be as frightened. I think it'll get them excited.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, going back, if you saw the example, all I did was just put like robots in love. And you've got some great illustrations that came out. And of course, then you can go very detailed and then you're going to get those results. But I think it's great. I see it too in the sense of being able to teach your students how to level up their writing, how to level up that game, because, based on your input, you can start, very, very, low entry, low barrier. You go in, cute robots, and then you can start building off of that. So students are building language skills. I would probably try even to use this even with my EB students, my emergent bilinguals, and then that way they can start, practicing their writing, but actually they're thinking, and starting the translation process, and being able to translanguage and see what we get, but starting to build those skills too. And so again, I'm seeing that from that side too, but I also see the creative side and just the excitement that it could bring into a classroom for a teacher, and really for anybody as well.
I can't wait. I know. I was saying that the font one was similar to something I've been using, but this is far blows it out of the water, because you can take that, they can put their names and put it on the green screen, and you can even make the background green, and there's your green screen, and then we climb on them and all kinds of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I
Yes.
do
And you
for
put the
this
green.
project is it's a name
Yes.
tag, and the kids can choose to do a picture. They can sit inside their O and read a book. Just to tell 3 things I learn about you, and it's just
Well,
that's perfect.
and even on the text to image, as long as you change the background to green.
The green, there you go.
Oh gosh, the possibilities, Erica. Oh my gosh, right now I'm just like, okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna
believe me, I'm like, ugh.
yes, my
Go.
brain
Yeah,
is doing that
she's
too.
green screen gal for a reason.
Exactly. I
I don't
love it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Whew. But
Well,
man,
thank you, and that brings us to the last of day 4 of Week of AI. We are going out with some fire, Adobe Firefly. Thank you guys for tuning in, and again, I want to thank Conquer today for sponsoring today's session. They're an amazing platform that takes some of the teacher workload off of us. It's standard aligned. It's an amazing tool, and it's just getting better. Don't forget tomorrow to tune in. We start at 5:30. Eduaid.ai is our sponsor. We'll kick off with their session, and we got some amazing speakers tomorrow too. Eric Kurtz is going to be popping up. He's got a fun session on Bard. Let me see. Let me pull up the schedule, and I will share my screen.
we should know it by heart by now, but I have to keep looking.
I know. It's just 24 sessions in 6 days. I can't keep it straight.
yeah.
Let's see. All right. So we have Eduaid kicking off at 5:30, Bonnie Nieves at 6, Eric Kurtz at 7, and Michael Fracano at 8. So make sure you tune in. Bonnie's going to be talking about improving literacy skills with AI. Eric is going to be covering A Bard's Tale. The title says it all. Take Google AI in education. And then coding and creating AI worlds with Michael. He's going to look at Blockade Labs more in detail, and we're going to look at how to integrate those in the tools like ThingLink and CoSpaces EDU.
Well, I just wanted to add one thing. Today, I got to do a presentation on AI, and the tool that dropped so many jaws was actually Eduaid, which is sponsor here of Week of AI. And you should have seen the look. I had administrators, I had teachers, I had all different levels there. So when I shared with them, doing the lesson seed and then doing a unit plan and then showing the interventions and showing all of that, everybody's mouths just dropped. And I kind of made a little comment there and said, hey, summer curriculum writers, those of you that get paid, to write curriculum, check this out. You can be done in a day and you can still cash in and do those things. Some administrators there didn't really like that, but they didn't really like that. But I said, look, the tool is there and the tool is great for that reason. So today, I want to give a big shout out to Eduaid and, Thomas Thompson. I know he was on I think it was show 202. That he was on. And so it was a great podcast. So make sure you check out that episode because he gives you a story as to how Eduaid came about. But I do want to give them a shout out and thank you so much for their support too as well.
They have a really cool logo.
Yes, they do.
I was so excited making some of the graphics. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Okay, I am actually dropping that episode in the comments. If you're curious to check it out, check out Thomas Thompson and Eduaid on the My Ed Tech Life podcast. And yeah, Thomas he's awesome. He was on our MIT panel on Monday and just prolific, brilliant, and just teacher by day, developer by night, like just living that startup world, you know, like it's amazing the tool that they've been able to build and what it does. So
Sounds like a song, live in that startup world.
live in that startup world. Yeah.
I'll think of it.
Coffee,
I love
ramen,
it.
some gems. Sorry. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to join us tomorrow. It is 9:00 Eastern time. I'm going to go and schedule all our streams for tomorrow, do a little bit more work, and get right back at it. We hope to see you again.
Yes.
Again, thank
Please
you.
come
And
play with us. And tag us and take lots of screenshots and tag the presenters and everybody here just to get this out, because this is going to change so many teachers' lives and bring so much joy to their students. I mean, it just
And
has
you could win a copy of the AI Classroom, a signed copy. So you share what you're learning, tag other educators, give them the opportunity to join in and win a book. All right. Bye.
Yes, Fonz. So good to see you. Hope to see you soon. Are you going to ISTE?
Yes, actually, I'm so excited. I am going to ISTE, so I will get to see many of you in real life. So that is amazing. So I want to give a shout out to Class Hero because they're sponsoring my trip over there. So I'm just excited to be there, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, I can't wait. That's wonderful. We'll see you in a few weeks then.
Yes.
All right.